Final Destination 2 was released in 2003, and the story this time around follows Kimberly, whom after having a violent premonition of a highway pileup, she blocks the freeway, keeping a few others meant to die safe. The survivors mysteriously start dying, and it's up to Kimberly to stop it before she's next. I both hate and thank this film for one specific reason, and that's for making me avoid and absolutely terrified of trucks loaded with logs. The characters in this one are less interesting compared to the ones in the first film, although I do think the chemistry between the characters in this one build up pretty well as they figure out a way to survive this time around. The scenes where everything is explained in these movies is kind of funny. You kind of gotta accept the fact that nothing actually makes sense. Our lead character here, Kimberly, has visions throughout the entire movie, and it can be confusing at times. Her hopping in that van and driving into a lake without any second thoughts was just pure insanity. Like, hey, mom and dad, I'm about to do something that's about to kill me. I hope I make it out alive. Love y'all. I always found it funny how these characters really never had time to react. It's like someone just got hit by a bus and they're like, oh, okay, what's for lunch? And they always figure out the solution at the end of the movie after everybody's dead already. So it's like, there's never a payoff. So in this one, we find out what happened to Devon Sawa's character from the first film. And it was just laughable. Alex was so good at dodging death in the first movie, but we find out in part 2 that it was opt just for a brick to land on his head when he was just walking in a random alley. But besides that death, Final Destination 2 does have more elevated deaths since the first film. A lot more practical and a lot more creative gore. The opening highway vision sequence is probably tied with the fifth film for me when it comes to best vision sequence. It's straight chaos. Cars are flipping, exploding, people are falling off bikes and getting crushed. But speaking of those practical deaths, a really good one has to deal with this piece of glass landing on this kid, squishing him and exploding him into a billion pieces. I'd honestly rather prefer that than what he was about to have moments ago when a dentist's office decoration landed in his mouth, almost choking him to death. So just like the other films in this franchise, this one has a bit of deaths that misdirect and build tension rather than straight up just kill the characters right away. Like the apartment scene where that guy has his hand stuck in a sink drain and there's a kitchen fire. It isn't until he gets out of the apartment where I was like, yep, he's definitely going to slip on that spaghetti and something's going to happen. And speaking of such deaths, when the Rory character goes up to Kimberly and asks, hey, does this supernatural death hurt? It's almost like death hurt him and was like, oh, I'm going to make sure it hurts. Also, that final ending death was way better executed than the Carter's death in the first film. As silly as the plot could be at times, Final Destination 2 delivers as a solid sequel to the first film. Final Destination 2 will be getting a 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you guys as always for watching. I look forward to bringing on more movie reviews soon. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below what movies y'all want me to check out next. I'm Matt, and I'll see you guys in the next video.